Hello and welcome to another video. This time I'm looking at something which I am not too familiar with, and this is very heavy. It is an Akai M-9 crossfield head 4-track stereophonic tape recorder. Take the panel off. There it is, passed to me by a friend, Jim, G4YLB, a radio amateur. It is supposed to have a fault on one of the channels. Other than that, supposedly working okay. Quick look at the specs for the device, which I've got. Specifications. Tape speed will do 1 7/8, 3 3/4 and 7.5 inch. You can do 15 inches per second with an adapter kit. That must have been flying the tape through. Wear and flutter less than 0.1% at 7.5 inches, less than 0.13% at 3 3/4 inches, less than 0.2% at 1 7/8 inches per second. Frequency response is 30 cycles up to either 23 kilocycles at 7.5, 18 kilocycles at 3 3/4 and 9 kilocycles at 1 7/8. Power output, there we go, is 15 watts per channel at undistorted power, total of 30 watts. 20 watts maximum per channel at music power, total of 40 watts. I never really understood what music power is. But the speakers are on the sides, and there is little deflectors to open them up. And on that side, come on, I wish I had nails, I don't have nails. My wife keeps telling me off for biting my fingernails, but there we go. Come on, brain. That's something to open this up with. There we go. So, 2 holes for speakers either side. Nothing else on that side. On the back, cooling fan behind the grill, mains fuse, wired for 240 volts, lots of parts pending according to that, old style plug. It is missing one stop. Back panel, that will have to come off soon so I can have a look inside it. And the final side, down here we have left and right line in and out and speakers, and a record and playback connector. Looks to be in very good condition. I'm not quite sure when these were made. I shall do a bit more digging, have a read. But the next thing I'm going to do is, before I do anything and put mains on it or anything else like that, is take the back off, this back cover off, having a check inside, make sure there's nothing obvious of danger before I plug it in. So, back in a little while. Okay, quick look in the back. I've checked a few things. One, the mains plug, it's wired okay. It's got a 3 amp fuse in it, which is nice to see. It's not got a 13 amp in it. The fuse inside here is okay, and there's also 4 fuses here that look as though they're on the audio output amplifiers, although I do have one issue in that one of the fuse holders is in fact broken. This one here, the tab that compresses against the fuse, the end of the fuse, is virtually snapped off. It's just about holding on. So I'm not sure what I can do about that as a temporary measure. I might just have to put a clip over that initially just to hold it in place. But printed circuit boards, quite old, the Paxlin type board stuff. But we've got record playback boards, 1, 2, another one inside there, and these look to be the two left and right amplifiers. There's TO3 style transistors on the back and a small section in there, again on the heat sink. Plenty of copper at the front, looks like copper sheet. Tin over the transformers to keep the stray inductance down. Is it aluminium or steel? Let's have a quick. Steel chassis inside it. It does weigh quite a bit. I can see quite a few electrolytics rated at 50 volts. So should be reasonably safe voltages inside it once it's running. I am imagining this to be the arrays oscillator, although I've not checked. I've not looked at the circuit diagram. It looks reasonable inside. Nothing that springs to mind. It's not what I would say been messed around. Looks like it's on plug and sockets for things. It is. So things can get unplugged. Looks like there's 2 connections excuse me, 2 connections there to unplug the power supply sections from the rest. So that should make life a little bit easier. It looks as though there's another one there. Is that another one? Yep. Plug and sockets all over the place, which is nice to see. So things can be disconnected. So it looks as though those are to the speakers. Looks as though the top section from there is separate to that section. So again, looks as though I could unplug things and withdraw them to do a bit of service. There's another plug inside in there. Right. Let's have a look. Welcome back to the Akai. I've got to admit it's been a few days in between clips. I have got it to the stage where I can play some tapes with it. The speaker on this side had gone open circuit, so I've replaced both speakers so they're at least the same spec. It's now got 2 8-ohm 5-watt speakers in it. Electrically it's working, although I've not gone over everything, but electrically it will play music. But mechanically it's in a bit of a sorry state. Members of the forum did tell me about the Akai cams on the old style tape machines. I don't know what they're like on the newer ones, but certainly on this, the cams that are in position for the play, record and stop, the fast forward, the rewind, and another one behind that, and even the cam that's behind the bias heads that lifts the head and the raise bias and erase heads up and down, are on the way out. Those are just about holding in. This one's broken, so I can't record with it as it stands, but I can play back. And what I've got on at the moment is an Edith Piaf tape. I'll play a bit of music, only a few seconds. I don't want the YouTube copyright thing to start kicking in, but just to show that the actual machine will play. But before I do that, I've got some pictures to show you of the state of the cams. Have a quick look. I've only put them up for about 5 seconds each. So here we go. Okay, right, so let's power it on, hit play, and hope it doesn't overload the microphone on this camera.
L'un près de l'autre se tiennent les amants qui se sont retrouvés pour cheminer côte à côte.
So the machine is basically working electrically. It will play tapes back. I do have some old family tapes from the wife's side, and I can try and see what's on them and take off some audio if I need to, so I can at least use it for that for the time being. But I think for the project, this Akai, unless I can get hold of new cams for it, 4 cams, 2 on that one on that one, and 1 behind here, then I don't think this is a project that's ever going to be up and running correctly. But you never know. It'll go in the garage. If somebody has a use for it, donations to charity will probably secure it. So, thanks for watching.